Thank you. Okay, so I hope most of you have heard the phrase clicktivism, and it's usually used in civic society as quite a negative thing. So I'm here to tell you that it's brilliant and why you should care about it. So clicktivism, I'll just start off with some information. So Change.org started in 2011 in the UK. We've been going globally since 2007. We've got nearly 13 million users now in the UK. We started with just 100,000. We have about 10 petitions that win a week. Globally, it's one every hour. And so, yeah, that's why I'm here to tell you that clicktivism is brilliant. So clicktivism is commonly thought of as the tool for the chronically lazy or for your witch hunter down the road. But I think clicktivism is brilliant because I think that essentially what has happened in the last 10 years is campaigning has moved on and it's progressed, and we are now able to use all sorts of tools to have our voices heard, including online petitions. This isn't a bad thing. I see every day ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and I see that it works, and essentially in the end what works is what matters. So we've got nearly 13 million users in the UK, and it's growing exponentially. Since we started, it's kind of gone up and up and up. We've got around 200,000 people who've started petitions, but then it's actually not just about starting the petition, it's about signing them and then taking on the actions that follow, that we see 10 campaigns win a week. And if you're a decision maker, I think clicktivism can be great for you too. So what I'm going to do is go through 3 things that mean that decision makers could really, really embrace clicktivism and how it can really strengthen the relationship between our communities and the people in power. So first one is creating a dialogue. Now, online petitions, did this amazing thing where they gave ordinary people the ability to speak on a platform and be heard at a massive scale. I like to think of it as giving your average person on the street a megaphone. But what we didn't do was give people in power the ability to speak back to those people. So it was a bit like throwing bricks at a window. So on Change.org, we've got this thing called Decision Makers Tool, where we give decision makers the ability to speak back to those petition starters and the people who sign and effectively create a dialogue. So the example I'm going to give you next is Oxford City Council. So last year, there was Oxford City Council were consulting on their PSPO, and part of the PSPO said that they were suggesting that people who slept rough could be charged. It was part of their public service order, where they were basically saying, how do we make our streets safer and a better environment for the local community? And one of the suggestions was, if people are sleeping rough, we charge them. A homeless outreach worker started a petition while Oxford City Council were consulting on this, and calling on Oxford City Council not to criminalise rough sleeping. And it gained thousands of signatures. Oxford could have, just ignored it, but what they did do was respond to the petition. And do you want to go to the next slide? So they responded to the petition, and they clarified Oxford City Council's stance on homelessness. They pointed out all the great work that they've done, and then they said, thank you for engaging, we're listening to you. And then they went away. Consultation ended. They then came back and responded again to the petition starter and the signers, saying, we're taking rough sleeping out of the PSPO. Now that was an incredible experience for the petition starter, for the constituents, and for Oxford City Council, because it started strengthening the trust between the two parties. The next is endorsing campaigns. So we do a lot of educating work to let users and to let the public know that the people in power aren't always the bad guy. Sometimes they can be really helpful to you and they can be a real influencer. So the next example I'm going to talk about is Laura Corriton. She started a petition to end the tampon tax. So a young girl, 19 years old, started a petition because she was actually bored of revising. So she was found out that women were being charged VAT on tampons, and that we weren't being charged with VAT on things like Jaffa cakes. So, and the way that they were categorised by Parliament was that some were luxury items and some were not luxury items. Apparently tampons were a luxury item, and so we get taxed on them. So Laura started a petition. She got thousands and thousands of supporters. This is something that feminists have been campaigning about for decades. Laura's energy, her, the ability to be able to speak to women across the UK at such a scale meant that she got, she got into the media. She was speaking to politicians. Paula Sheriff, particularly, MP Paula Sheriff and Stella Creasy, both backed Laura's campaign. Paula then basically used Laura's issue, took it into Parliament and started influencing her colleagues. She created a debate in Parliament where there was an incredible turnout of politicians all saying tampons and all forcing the men to say tampons in Parliament. And then eventually Laura's campaign was referenced by George Osborne in the budget, specifically her petition, and then earlier last year David Cameron said that he would be scrapping it. They went to European Parliament and negotiated a deal. Now that wouldn't have happened without Laura and Paula coming together and using the levers that they had at their disposal. Laura with the public mobilisation, Paula in mobilising her colleagues in Parliament. And what it does is it breaks this myth that the politicians are always the evil people, that they can actually be our supporters and they can be the best champion. Last example is leading the charge. Now some organisations and councils and politicians are using Change.org in an incredibly innovative way where they're actually starting the petitions themselves. And so they're doing really interesting thought leadership. This example, which got started recently, so Hackney Council, another council that are incredible at responding to petitions on the site, they respond to every petition that's aimed at them. Now, for Hackney Council, that for us on Change.org, it's not a massive amount of petitions, but for Hackney Council, it's a little bit of work. But for them, it's like responding to every email that they get, but actually all of those emails are gathered up into one petition. They can contact all those people and show that they're listening. So what they're doing now is they've started a petition with the East End Traders Guild, calling on the UK government, so BIS, to basically not hike up business rates for independent businesses. And what this is doing is it's saying to the community, we care about local businesses and we're going to take a stand. And we've got an identity, and we're with you. They've got loads of local press based on this, and they're based. And the partnership with East End Traders Guild really helps Hackney Council to look like this, and to be this council that's open, collaborative. So I've spoke very fast. So that's the end of my lightning talk. My summing up is that clicktivism can be an incredible thing, and that it's already here and it's already happening. So decision makers should embrace it, and if they can do it in a really bold way, then they can strengthen the relationship and strengthen the trust with their constituents. That's it.